Good morning, guys. Welcome to Liverpool FC Journal. I'm W. James. This is your Liverpool news update, and it's a better Monday morning, isn't it? It's so much better when we've had a victory over the weekend, the first in quite a while. I'm not going to sit here this morning and pretend to you that that's it, that everything is forgiven and everything's okay and rosy in the garden, because you know what? It doesn't matter for Jack if they don't follow up with another win on Wednesday night. You know, one swallow does not a summer make is a famous saying, I think, and we've got to kind of take that. And yes, yesterday's performance was better. Yes, it was an improvement. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't brilliant. It was okay. It was a decent performance. It got the job done. It got the result. You have got to take into account, of course, the fact that we were playing West Ham, who are not a very good side this year. But the performance was better. And it's to me, I think there's a lot of positive to take from that. We're going to talk about those on the video this morning. We're going to talk, obviously, about Mo Salah being left out. We'll talk about Florian Wirtz. And we will also bring up and talk and discuss a little bit about a very morning, guys. Yes, a very odd one this morning. We've had a bit of a weird link this morning, and I don't know quite how to take that one. I don't think there's a lot in it. I don't think it'll happen, but it's worth talking about nonetheless. Look, I think, whatever your take on this, and, you can look on social media this morning and you've got your Arsenal and Man United fans and Man City fans and Chelsea fans all belittling everything and making fun of everything and still slagging off Florian Wirtz. But you've got to say that this man yesterday was excellent for Liverpool. I think what helped Florian yesterday was the fact that he was kind of the man, wasn't he? He was the main guy. He was the guy who kind of everybody looked to yesterday. He was kind of the guy who, was given kind of the keys to the team, the keys to the car, and told, go on then, you go run it, you go drive it, you go do what you need to do. And it worked. For me, it really genuinely worked. He was clever with the ball, he was clever on the ball, little passes around the corner, controlled the game exceptionally well. I thought he did very, very well indeed. He really did. Really impressed with what he actually managed to get done in that game. And yes, look, no assists, no goals, but I still think there was very much signs of improvement there. There was huge signs of improvement there from Florian Wirtz. It's really encouraging, and I really hope that the manager can see that now, and that the manager sticks with that. That he is the man who, he gives them the confidence to go on and to really play like that. And he gives Florian Wirtz kind of the ability now to go and be the main man. I think, one of the things we've got to get used to, and I think, is that, look, Mo Salah ain't getting any younger. He really isn't. And for a long time now, this team has been built around Mo Salah. It's been built about get the ball to Salah. Salah does something brilliant, or Salah creates something. When Liverpool win a game. We've now got to look to rebuild this team around the newer players. And Florian Wirtz is that man. That's why he was bought. That's why all that money was paid for this guy. He is an exceptional talent. There's no doubt about that, And yes, he hasn't had the best start to the season. Yes, his performances haven't perhaps been to the standard you would expect. But he's a guy adapting to a new league, adapting to a new style, adapting to a new team. And yesterday we saw the start, I believe, of the Florian Wirtz coming out party. I'm not talking about him being gay. I'm talking about him coming out as a top footballer. I think he really did do that. And I think giving him that confidence to be the main man was the big thing for me yesterday. Now, people moan about him being taken off. I think that was protecting his legs. I really hope the same happens on Wednesday night against Sunderland. I think, look, my personal opinion is, we'll get to him in a minute. If you bring this man back in on Wednesday night against Sunderland, if you play Salah again, you ruin everything that you created on Sunday. To me, that team that we played Sunday looked more fluid. It looked more dynamic. It looked more creative. It looked better defensively. It looked more solid defensively. And yes, I think playing Joe Gomez at right back helped massively because he's a defender. But Dom Szoboszlai was out there. There was more tracking back. Salah, at the moment, Liverpool cannot afford a Mo Salah who just can't be asked to defend. Who genuinely is lazy. He cannot be bothered in going backwards, and he exposes the defence horribly. I honestly believe that if Slot puts Salah back in on Wednesday and changes the team and puts Salah back into the side on Wednesday night, Liverpool will lose. I think they will lose. I think if we go back in and we play and we give Wirtz the keys to the car again, we let him be the main man and inspire, I think Liverpool will win the game. I think as good as Sunderland have been this year, and look, full credit to them, they've spent £127 million. That's why they're doing so well. They've got a decent manager. They're a hard team to beat, and they're a decent team. But look, this is Liverpool. They shouldn't be worrying about playing Sunderland. It's a small team from the northeast of England. It's not a big team. It's not like it's a Man City or a Chelsea or an Arsenal or Man United or anyone like that. It's not even as big as Spurs or Villa. This is a game that they should be winning. And I really think if Salah comes back in, it weakens the team substantially, and I think it takes away the dynamism, it takes away the drive, it takes away the defensive solidity, it takes away the fluidity that was there yesterday, and it was better yesterday because of the lack of Salah, and I think that's promising going forward, obviously into the AFCON when he won't be here full stop. I personally would not play him at all now between now and AFCON. I think let him go on the 6th of December, let him go out to meet up with his Egyptian teammates, and let's get on with it, because I think we'll be a better side without him. I really do. I suppose one encouragement yesterday was Konate was a lot better as well. Hopefully this, now that Madrid have come out and say, hey, we don't want him, maybe that's cleared his mind a little bit. Maybe now he's focused on, I've got to actually put my finger out and look like a decent footballer, so Liverpool give me a contract and I stay. Maybe that's the way it's going to be from now on. Maybe that's the way it's got to be from now on for Ibu Konate. But I thought yesterday's performance was a whole lot better. I thought, like I said, Joe Gomez was outstanding. I thought Virgil and Ibu were good. I thought Kirkez was decent. Not brilliant, but decent. I thought Maka was solid. I thought Grav was okay. Sobo was great as always. Wirtz was fantastic. Isak did better. Yes, I think he still can contribute more to the team. Of course I do. But the goal was fantastic. A brilliant finish. First time finish. Cody, I think second half. First half, Cody was poor. A lot of what we did broke down with Cody. But I thought second half, Cody was better. Assist and a goal. Well done, Cody. Fantastic. Proving the doubters wrong. And I thought, as well, that Hugo, nice little cameo when he came on. Curtis Jones, I thought, did very well when he came on. He was positive. He got forward. He drove the ball forward. And I'll always be a Curtis Jones fan. I don't get the hate he gets. I really don't. I think there's an agenda against him from some of our so-called fans, and I don't understand it. But there we go. Right, look, let's look at a bit of a weird link that's come up this morning. This is the weird link. Everton winger Ilman Ndiaye, the African international. Is he Senegalese? I think he is. Apparently, is attracting interest from a number of top big clubs in the Premier League who are looking to obviously give Ndiaye a chance to improve his standing and improve his career a little bit and take that next step. Obviously, he's at a little club like Everton. He needs to take that next step. He wants to obviously, go. I think he himself will want to move up to a bigger stage. This season, the Premier League, he's made 13 appearances, scoring 4 goals, 1 assist, 5 goal contributions, playing 100% of their starting 11s, 92% of their minutes, and has contributed to over a third of Everton's goals, 36% to be precise. He's also played twice in the Carabao Cup, both times as a substitute. He's a guy who can play left wing, he can play right wing. He is a centre. He can also play as a centre forward. He obviously came via Sheffield. Was on loan at Sheffield United. He was at Marseille previously. He is 25 years old, so moving into the prime of his career, under contract till 2029. It's been reported this morning that Liverpool are one of the clubs prospectively interested in Ilman Ndiaye. Look, I'll be honest with you. This is a weird one. Obviously, Abu Javier, the last man to cross Merseyside 2003. I can't see it happening. I genuinely don't see it happening. I think Ndiaye's a decent player, don't get me wrong. And there's interest, obviously, I think, from Spurs, one of the team interested in him. Man City, I think, we're interested in him. I don't see a lot of legs in this one. I really don't. I just think with, obviously, the cross-city rivalry from them only to us, because, they are a little club. I can't see it going on. I can't see them selling to us. I just don't see a lot of legs in this one. He is a good footballer, don't get me wrong, and I think he's a decent player. Do I think he's good enough to come in and replace Salah or replace Diaz? No, I don't. I don't think he's in the same level as those guys. So, I think Liverpool should be looking higher than that. More realistically, the likes of Elise. I think Semenyo is a better player than him. I mean, obviously, Antoine Semenyo is the main link, and there's been obviously a lot of column inches dedicated to the Antoine Semenyo link. There was a report yesterday in a couple of publications, a couple of papers yesterday, saying that Manchester City are ready to trigger the release clause in January for Antoine Semenyo as they look to obviously to follow on and try and build their title challenge to Arsenal, obviously, who drew yesterday with 10-man Chelsea. I think Semenyo is a quality player. I think, Liverpool, if Man City are serious, I think Liverpool should be rivaling Man City for the signature of Antoine Semenyo. I do think centre-back is still a top priority in January. I think Mark Gahey is an absolute must. I think if we'd got him at the start of the season, we wouldn't be having half the problems we're having now. Look, it is what it is, guys, in terms of that transfer news, but I do think the Ilman and Dye stuff is a little bit wide of the mark and perhaps a little bit clickbaity by the media. But look, all attention now turns to Wednesday night. Sunderland are the visitors to Anfield. Obviously, it'll be a tough game. We will, of course, preview that game here on the channel. Thank you for your support, guys. Growing slowly here. If you want to obviously help the channel, please subscribe. We want to grow, be massive. I am working on projects. I am working on bringing some more people into the podcast, trying to get this into a bit more of a community rather than just me. If you're interested in podcasting, let me know in the comments or drop us an email. I'll put the channel's email into the description for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the content, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.